We're here with IBJJF Hall of Famer Marcus Buchecha Almeida. We're about 2 weeks out from the 2025 World Championships. You were just doing some training with the Checkmat team. So can you talk about how that training's been going so far?
Yeah, for me it's always a big pleasure and it's really nostalgic to come here for the Worlds camp because I have been here in California since 2011 when I first moved to train and to live my life, to live the dream, to go after my dreams, to become world champion. And so I did so many camps. So these last 2-3 weeks before the Worlds, it was always a really good time, really tough training. And for me, this is not part of my life anymore, but every time I have opportunity to come here, I still like to come, to train, to hang out, to feel a little bit of the energy that it was part of my life for so long.
Yeah, I want to ask you specifically about a few Checkmat athletes. First, we'll start with Jensen. I know you were someone who was like pretty much a mentor to him when you were a black belt, and he was like a blue belt, purple belt, and he's been really successful. Won the Worlds in 2023. Had that injury last year after he made the open class final. He had that injury at medium heavy, but he came back, won Brasileiro. He's been looking incredible. Just tell me about Jensen and what it's like to train with him and watch his evolution as an athlete.
Yeah, just like you said, I met Jensen. He was like yellow belt or like even younger. So I remember he was a really like a kid when first time I saw him in the pyramid. He was a blue belt juvenile and was being world champion as black belt. So the year difference, it's a lot. But nowadays to see like I could watch his journey closely and I saw everything that he overcome to become what he became. Jensen right now, for me, in my opinion, is one of the best nowadays. So to watch him fighting, it's something amazing. He's the only like a few athletes that I still stop to watch because I know it's gonna be a good fight. I know it's gonna be forward and I know it's gonna be like beautiful jiu-jitsu and a lot of transitions, a lot of scrambles, like a mix of Leo's game with passing, with new and like old school jiu-jitsu. So I think he's something special for sure.
We spoke to Leo earlier, and he mentioned that your game is pretty similar to Jensen's as well. So do you see a lot of yourself in Jensen and in his performances?
No, man, I think Jensen is better. You know, I think he's a better. It's like evolution of my game. Let's say like that, because he doesn't have the size, he doesn't have the weight, but so he adapted really well with the pressure game, with the speed, with the like new stuff. So I think the way that he sees jiu-jitsu is for sure different the way that I see it. So that's why I think his game evolved more than my game. You know, I think he's the new generation for sure. I remember one time people asked me during a seminar, during a Q&A, "Oh, Buchecha, if you have to pick a name that's gonna be replace you for being the name of the jiu-jitsu, you're gonna pick." I remember Jensen was purple belt, and I said his name. So I'm not saying this because I saw him being world champion, because I'm saying this because since he was purple belt, I saw something special on him. The way that he fights, the way that he competes, the way that he trains. So it's not like he's not an overnight success. The kid's it's been working hard since a long time ago.
I want to ask you about Adam Wardzinski too, because I feel like he won the Worlds last year, 2024, then he won the next 3 major tournaments in 2025. And I feel like a lot of people can kind of relate to him just by the way he's persevered, coming back from a lot of like, losses at the Worlds and losses at other major tournaments. So can you talk a little bit about Adam and why you think he's so special and why you think he resonates with so many different jiu-jitsu practitioners?
Yeah, man, Adam is a great guy. Guy that I remember the first time that he came to train with us, like, oh, this guy's European, really good. He's a really different game. He like did the hook sweep, so I haven't seen somebody to play this kind of game in a long time. So since when he came here, he was tough, as a brown belt, but I was, I think, in my best, like my prime of my career. So I used to train with him a lot. And then, if I'm not mistaken, when he got his black belt, I was in Poland. So I was there with Finfo. And so I think of course, was a really special day for him. And I was part of that because I was in his hometown with his friends, with everything. And I could, since when he was brown belt to the black belt, I could watch his journey, right? So I saw his training. I trained with him every single year after he got the black belt. But last year, when I trained with him, and I felt he was different, right? So I remember it, like you guys were interviewing me. You did an interview with me to talk about Jensen, and I was talking about Jensen. And then I said, okay, but you guys should talk about Adam too, because this year I think he's gonna win. And he did. So he never really got a medal in the Worlds before. And that year I said, like, the Adam is gonna win too, because he's like different this year. I felt like his desire, his will was something like different. Like, no matter how bad things are going in the training, he always gonna find a way to find a hook, find a sweep. I call the 9-point sweep, because after he get the sweep, he's gonna pass your guard and he's gonna mount. I felt that so many times in training. So the last year felt something different, and I wasn't mistaken. He won. And even him, he played with me. I said, why you never said I would win? I said, because I never thought you would win. But when I really think about it, you did. And I think this year will be no different. He's doing such amazing run. He did the Grand Slam, something that it's not easy, especially in his division. He's like dominating for the whole year, for the whole season. And man, if I have to put my money in the open class champion, if this guy decides to fight, he can win, you know? So I don't know if it's in his plans to fight the open weight, but if he decides and to put the same mindset that he fights his division in the open, I think he can do it. He can make double gold for sure. That's what I think.
That'd be incredible.
Let's see. That's up to him, you know. Leo doesn't push. Nobody gonna push. Like I said, if he decided, if he wants, he can achieve.
That's awesome. I want to ask you about Matias Gabriel too. He won the Worlds in 2019 as a featherweight. Went up to lightweight. I know he had a major injury to his knee that he's overcome recently. But can you talk about Matias Gabriel's game? I think he's someone similar to Jensen or Adam that people just like really enjoy watching. He's got a very exciting style. So can you talk about Matias? Yeah,
Matias is like, this kid is special. It's something amazing. Man, because I never seen like a featherweight that goes against anyone. I remember I used to train with him a lot. And if I don't go 100% with him, I cannot do anything, you know? So he's so aggressive and he doesn't care. He goes like, if he goes with a blue belt and a black belt world champion, he goes same way. He always train hard, he always train focused. His legs are so fast and his transitions. His guard, of course, is something amazing. It's incredible to watch. But now he's developing like a top game, really good as well. So he's really confident in his passing game, which is making him a really complete athlete. So I'm really excited to watch him. He just won, right? I heard he just won in Rome. Open weight and division, so the kid's on fire. So this year, it's gonna be amazing to watch these guys, my teammates, fighting and for sure getting gold medals.
So a lot of the guys we just talked about, they're obviously your Checkmat teammates. They're definitely inspired by you. But I think a lot of other Jiu-Jitsu competitors are just inspired by your 13 world titles and your legacy at the Worlds. So does that make that your legacy even more special, knowing that there's a lot of people who maybe they're not necessarily like chasing the same amount of titles, but they saw you compete, they saw the way you lit up the pyramid, and that's a big motivation for them. What does all of that mean to you?
It's priceless, because I never thought I would get so far in the sport. I never thought I would become where I became, and here I am today. It was amazing. One time people asked me, what's your goal? What's drive you to do what you do? I never really had the answer before, but I remember one time before, I think there was 2018, no, or 18 or 17, I don't remember. One reporter asked me like, what's driving me? I said, you know what? I want to do what's never been done. I want to be the only one to do something special. And then I started going after to win, to break the records, to win 11 world titles, which I did in 2018. Was really amazing. And after that, I wasn't done. I still want to compete, and I realized I wasn't going after anybody's title anymore. I was trying to get better than myself. I was trying to be better than myself, which I did. In 2019, I got 2 more titles. Now I got 13, and so it took me a while to understand the chase. It's not going after somebody, but at the end of the day, I was trying to be better than myself. And I think that reflect for a lot of people. And when I see when I go in arena, when I go to the pyramid, a lot of people tell me this about how I inspire them and how people use me as a motivation. A lot of people tell they watch my highlights before the fights, before the words. That's something that makes me really happy, because I started competing and I never thought that Jiu-Jitsu would bring me where he brought me. So it's hard to translate with words the feeling that I have. All the grateful, like I'm really grateful for everything that the sport gave to me. I love the place, the pyramid. Every time I drive by the place, by 405, I look and I remember like I am who I am today because of the place. You know, I mean, that place made Buchecha, right? All my titles were there. So, and a lot of people saw that. So to be like recognized and to be like inspired, to be able to inspire so many people during my whole journey, my whole career, that's something priceless for sure. Just really thankful for everything and for everybody that support me somehow to get here and to reach where I reach. So now I have like a different path. I'm trying to take the Jiu-Jitsu flag in MMA. I'm doing so far. And the best part is like all the Jiu-Jitsu community still have my back. So that's amazing. I'm really grateful for this. That's not something that, he doesn't fight Jiu-Jitsu anymore or whatever. No, they still want me to watch me fighting Jiu-Jitsu and doing good in the cage, you know. So that's amazing.